on. Once it actually... Okay, there we go. Recording has begun. Vlog whenever you are ready.
Acting Captain's Log, Stardate 55157.3. The Hadfield has fled from the Tholia system. It's been overwhelmed by Terran forces. Before the Hadfield managed to escape, a number of hits surrounding our bridge has caused several explosions. Parts of our crew were injured, including our captain. But Dr. Maselli has assured us that he will make a full recovery. For now, the Hadfield is making its way toward Federation space. Our sensors have shown that our counterpart, the ISS Hadfield, is pursuing us. Sitting at its captain's chair seems to be some sort of dangerous reflection of Luke Freewell. End log.
Very good. And we will pick up on the bridge of the Hadfield. Oh god, it's doing that thing that I hate where this is the one where I don't have the whole thing set up.
It's cool. So, we're on the bridge.
Yeah, no, hang on. This is the thing where I have to do everything like little bit by little bit to move you maps.
Are you sure this is going to work?
This is, what, me running?
Like, are you sure you can manage it this week?
Yeah, I can. It just took a little extra. It just took a little extra, and there's going to be a bit more theater of the mind in this one, but I can do it.
Cool. So, we are currently fleeing toward Federation space.
Yep. Oh, and the doctor is not there. She is in sickbay, tending to a captain who had a console explode like 4 feet from his face.
Yep. Sadly, we now have to restock the dynamite in them, but it's okay.
That's tradition.
Oh, hang on. I first have to deal myself threat. Currently, I only have 10 because the captain isn't here. When the captain shows up, I gain 2 threat.
Yep.
To start off the game, I am going to need an opposed piloting check.
Oh boy.
All right, Tev. You're gonna prove that you are the better Tev.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I want to we don't have any momentum, right?
Nope.
Nope, just started, but I believe you have bold, so threat is actually useful for you to get that dice.
Let's get another dice going. So you're going to take that threat.
Okay, and I'm immediately going to spend it.
Son of a dick.
You should probably roll more dice. It didn't say what the roll was.
It's Daring Con.
Daring Con, okay. And here we go. Not bad.
Okay. And the engine's con, although he gets to re-roll one, so don't get too comfy.
I'm still better.
Engine's con for the Hadfield. Okay. You do get a re-roll, should you wish.
Let's re-roll that. Oh yeah, boy. Oh.
You still beat by 1. You gain a momentum.
Yeah.
As you are able to just barely keep ahead of the ISS Hadfield's phaser fire, which is lancing out at you from an extreme range. Occasionally, a photon torpedo skips across your shields.
Captain, we're being fired at. What do we do?
Juesa, what is our weapon status?
Checking.
Give me. This is going to be the damage report task, which is. Hang on. Damage report. Damage control. Damage report. Give me insight command assisted by the ship's communications engineering. Difficulty of 1.
This is gonna be ugly. Alright.
Oh, it's only diff 1. So. And the ship's comms engineering. Hey! That's 3 momentum gained. You are sitting at 4.
Damn, son.
For 2 momentum, I'll say that the weapons are fully functional.
Sure.
It's like a deal to me.
Sounds good.
I'll take it. They're ready to go.
Very well. See if you can attempt to dissuade our guest.
Yes, sir. Just waiting.
Okay. This is going to be, you're at extreme range.
Photon torpedoes.
Okay, so that makes this difficulty of, control security, difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's weapons security. You have to give me a threat, I think, for firing a torp.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 1 threat to increase that difficulty by 1 more, so you're sitting at 4.
Okay. So I will take the 2 momentum and give you 1 threat for the 2 extra dice.
Alrighty, sitting back at 10. Nice. And the ship?
What would be the ship's roll?
Maselli, roll weapons security.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I should
Dang.
have ship more often.
Jesus!
Doing great there.
I'm just imagining this one like, okay, this is the one that goes bang, right?
So,
Big red button.
I assume we're back up to full power, right?
that's 3 momentum.
Yeah,
So,
it was diff 3 and
Uh,
5.
I spent, he gave me a threat, and I spent
2
it,
momentum.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, so I actually should have 1 less threat than I do. I spent it and 1 threat to, increase the difficulty by 1.
Yep, I used 2 momentum and gave you 1 threat.
So, yeah, so he still beat it by 3, though, so.
Yeah, we still did great. So we hit them. So we get to roll torpedoes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay, torpedoes.
Brennan, has our power come back?
Oh, yes, you are at, you guys are at full power. You're effectively in a new scene.
Nice.
Alright.
Allow me to welcome you
Rolling.
to this side of the rocket launcher, Doctor.
God.
Somebody rolling the torpedo damage.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Oh my god. That's
Okay.
The Doctor blows him up in one round.
6, 7.
Look at me.
That-
I'm a warrior now.
so that's 7 minus 3 for resistance. That's 4 damage.
We'll use
How much health did they have?
momentum for piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 6 damage. They take a breach.
Pew pew.
Okay.
I think I bloodied their nose, sir.
Very good.
I said across their nose, not up it.
Right, what's next?
And as it seems like you're finally able to, it's one of those, you've been running for hours trying to get your power back. That was sort of how you've gotten to where you are now. You knew you couldn't fight your opponent head on with them fully charged. You only coming off of, because you had been traveling for weeks and your systems were spread thin. You needed a little time to recover. And you're finally getting back on your second wind when I'm going to spend 2 threat and make something interesting happen.
Oh no!
I am going to the GM layer.
Suddenly, a giant space whale.
Suddenly, the space kraken from episode 2 shows up.
Oh my gosh. There's always a bigger fish. Wait, no, that's episode 1.
As everyone, you hear a sort of whine coming from hang on, I gotta go to the layers so you can see it. You hear a little whine coming from this part of the bridge, and you see
That's the doctor, don't worry.
A figure materializing in what looks vaguely like a transporter beam, but it's grainy. It looks incomplete. And then a figure falls out of it and crumples into a heap on the floor.
I jump out of my seat and point a phaser at him.
Stand down, Suzuman.
Yes, sir.
That's my job.
Why are you here?
He's currently crumpled in a heap on the floor.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Dr. Maselli to the bridge.
Commander? May I ask what for? I have sick patients.
You have one up here, apparently, as well.
Right away, sir.
I'm just going to attempt to check on him as best I can.
Okay, give me an insight medicine. Difficulty of 2, this can succeed at cost.
I did not expect that.
Ow.
Yeah, that just happened.
I'm going to take both of those complications and apply them. He is dying.
Awesome.
Just go back down to the signal back down to sick bay. Never mind. Shoot him.
Maselli, you walk onto the bridge and you see a figure slumped on the floor right in front of you. He appears to be wearing sort of this weird gray ridged jumpsuit. You've never seen him before.
Alright, I'll immediately jump into action. Oh my god. I begin to scan him and ask questions. Who is this man? What is he doing here? Do you know what is the cause of his injuries?
I do not know the cause of his injuries. He appeared to be transporting here, but it seemed to be almost as if the matter stream was disturbed in some way.
Transporting here, the shields are up, are they not?
Well, I'm sure we'll find out more soon, Doctor, but can he be treated?
I'm looking at the results now.
Doc, give me insight medicine. Difficulty of 3. You can thank Balak.
Thanks, Balak. Does emergency medicine count as a focus?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You can have 1 momentum and 2 threat with 4 dice. I will re-roll that complication.
How much threat did you say?
I said 2 threat.
80. Okay.
And I generated 2 momentum.
Sweet. Misselli, you have never seen anything like this before. It is like not only every organ in his body, but it's almost as if every cell in his body is failing all at once.
Okay.
Slowly, but it's slowly failing, but it's like every cell in his body is failing.
I'm going to spend 1 momentum, and because I have this, I get 2 questions.
Oh, yes.
First question. Without treatment, what's the ballpark of his life estimate? Like, how long does it look like he has?
Without treatment, minutes.
Okay. 2. Am I detecting chronoton radiation here?
Yes.
Commander, I've never seen anything like this before. His cells are decaying at some kind of rapid rate. I don't even know where to begin here. The amount of quanton radiation in his system, he should already be dead.
Doctor.
I will clarify. The amount of chronoton radiation you're detecting is not a deadly amount.
Oh, okay.
You are detecting chronoton radiation though.
Yes, a large amount of quanton radiation in his system. He has to be some kind of time traveler, no?
Do your best to treat him. For now, Doctor. We'll ask more questions once he's able.
The more I know, the better I can treat him. As of this moment, I don't even know what this is. Alright, I'm gonna try and whip up some kind of drug cocktail to stabilize.
Okay.
The best I can think of.
Daring medicine. Difficulty of 3. I am going to spend 2 threat to up the comp range by 1.
Okay. I will spend all of our momentum and roll 4 dice. I assume emergency medicine still applies.
Yep.
Alright. I will re-roll 1 of those 0. Okay.
You know, yeah.
Still enough.
And you got a momentum back, so. And you did not crit. Came close with that last one.
Okay. 2 cc's of thorheptazine, 1 cc of thymosin. We need something for his heart, so treslazine. Oh god, this better work.
The funny way I can think of putting it, remember how I gave you that sort of funky hypo spray that you load the 6 into and you fire them? It's for mass treating multiple people. This time, you just load 6 hypo sprays into the thing and go. As you load him with 6 hypo sprays full of chemicals that in all likelihood would probably kill any normal person if they weren't suffering from every condition under the sun. But it would appear you've stabilized him for the moment. You bought him some time, maybe an hour or 2 at most, but his condition seems to be continuing to degrade. You just gave him a booster.
Okay. I'll tap my communicator. Medical team to the bridge. We need to move a patient down to sickbay immediately. And that's what I'll do. I'll move them down to sickbay before treatment.
Very good. And
So, added another patient.
that you at let me see what I want to do next. Captain still is not back. Is there anything that you on the bridge want to do?
Say, Rugan, how far away are we from Federation space?
Give me. This will be a reason con, assisted by the ship's computers con, difficulty of 2.
Okay, let me revise that then. Zonin, how far away are we from Federation space?
But wait, am I still supposed to roll that one order?
Oh no, I was gonna say we should probably have to Zonin do it.
Yeah, I figured.
Valak would know who he's supposed to ask for these things, but I don't know shit. So.
Oh boy.
So yes, to Zonin some reason con, and you're being helped by the ship.
Do you want me to take any extra stuff?
Well, yeah, you know what? This should be easy enough to go ahead and give him one threat so you can use bold con, but.
What's the ship called?
Okay, so I guess just 2 dice then. Let's do this.
No, I was gonna say give him a threat for a third die, but.
Oh, bold con. Okay, well. Wait, it's just to roll see how far. I'm gonna re-roll that 0 anyway.
That's
still
not
0.
how bold cons
Yeah,
work.
you need to have spent a threat. But roll for the ship, computers con.
Oh. Computers con, no.
You can re-roll that because of Tizonin's thing. That's even worse.
Wow.
No.
We're just doing a yo-yo here.
You figure that you're probably a week out from Federation space at your top speed. Again, you're not the fastest ship out there. Hell, there are ships that were around. I mean, there were ships that were around decades ago that are faster than the Hadfield, technically speaking.
Hey, yeah.
But you're probably about a week out. You don't know whether or not you'll be able to hold out that long.
But if we are a week out, so are the people following us. They're us, so.
Right. The thing though is that they're fresh.
Yeah, I know. It's like we ran to get here.
Yeah, you've been on the run in Tholian space for the past 3 weeks. You don't know what kind of condition they're in.
Yep. Well, we need to see if we can learn more about what brought them here and see if maybe we can find some way to send them back. Rugan, any ideas about and how that might be done?
I wonder if that large dimensional rift there might hold a clue.
Indeed. See if you can pore over the data and see if we have anything to possibly sense any others ahead of us. If we can find one on the way, we might be able to force them into it.
Indeed. As we learned before, they seem to be on the other side, creating this rift. Were we to reverse it somehow, we might be able to pull everything that's in here with its signature back through. I mean, it worked in Doctor Who.
I was thinking that same thing.
I say go for it.
Still, however, we should do believe we ought them first, figure out how much power they're running on, see what we can figure out about them.
Yeah, sure, let's attempt to scan them, but we do need to keep ahead of them.
Indeed, we need to figure out as much as we can about them so we can figure out what to do to fuck with them.
So the way I'm gonna rule this is going forward, if you want to do something with your time other than staying ahead of them, you have to make an opposed pilot check. Should you fail that opposed pilot check, they will get to take a pot shot at you.
I gotcha. Well, first, let's see what condition they're in, at least, and we'll go from there.
Can I continue taking pot shots at them?
That will probably be a possibility.
The way it's the way I'm ruling it is, if Tizonin succeeds at the opposed pilot check, or if you just want to let them take a pot shot at you and have it be even Steven, I'd also be amenable to that. But if you want a quote-unquote free action on them, Tizonin's going to have to succeed that opposed pilot check.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, so for now, let's get scans of them. So we're gonna fire up our sensor gun.
Sensor gun. Okay. So first things first. Okay.
Someone to roll the shit, by the way.
Yeah. Oh no. So you are gonna do this first, Ragon. Yeah. Okay. You rolled for reason science. I was gonna make the difficulty of this is for each range beyond medium, long, extreme. So that's 3, I think. Brought down by 1 to 2 because it's I'm ruling this as you're doing a scan for weakness.
Okay.
Is what the mechanically speaking. Increases in difficulty 1 for each range beyond close. So that's difficulty 4 brought down by 1 to difficulty 3 by the sensors. So just see if the ship gets you any momentum.
Hey Tim, I just want to tell you I'm here in a limited capacity. I'm just waiting for my public transport to be here. I'll be home shortly, I hope. But I'm here, I can answer and I can roleplay while I'm outside. There's literally nobody around me.
Great. We'll get to you in just a minute.
Awesome.
So, someone, Miss Ellie, could you roll the ship's sensors science?
Yep.
Just see if you get any momentum off of this. Oh, I have to delete a bunch of tokens. None of you people are here.
Hey, we got a momentum.
Hey. Very good. Yes, you get the readings back from the ISS Hadfield. It would appear to be a near identical replica to yours, however, with slightly more beefy weapon systems, and it looks like it has some kind of a modified deflector dish.
You're gonna make Jueza jealous. Don't do that.
All right, you're saying that we know precisely how to fuck with this thing.
Although the weapon systems currently appear to be, it currently looks like they're trying to bring the weapon systems back online because that torpedo shot you took, whapped them.
Yep. Alright, so I suppose that would be our first task, which means Ted's got to
Yeah, so Tev now has to give me an opposed,
An opposed reason kana, I assume?
Daring.
daring.
Oh, daring.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to give you momentum for a third dice.
You remember yours is bold, so that'd be threat.
Oh, threat for dice.
I mean, you can give it momentum, but threat's just a better one.
Okay, yeah, let's go with threat, and then I can
how much?
roll zeros because of bold, right?
Yeah.
How much threat?
Okay.
Just one?
Just one for a third dice.
Okay, I'm gonna spend that and 2 more to let him roll 4 dice.
Oh my goodness.
And you're making him use a bunch of threat for that, so that's good.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, that is... Let's go.
Okay, now it's gonna come down to the ships.
Tev, you also could re-roll the 0 you got because you used threat.
Everybody's getting zeros.
That is a tie. That is a straight tie, I think.
Hot damn.
So I'm gonna.
Who's attacking?
Huh?
Who is attacking? Because victory goes to the attacker.
No one really. They're trying to catch up so they can. You know what? I know what I'll do. They will succeed at cost. Their attack roll is going to be harder.
Okay.
And it was already going to be pretty hard. So it's like they're at extreme range again, even though they have now moved into long.
Okay.
And their weapons officer is going to fire. Gonna give him a threat. GG. GG! That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's
Jesus.
2 threat back to me. Yeah, Mirror Jacoby does not fuck around.
Oh yeah, that's me on the weapon station. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm assuming your shields are up.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. We are running away with as quickly as possible, shields up, trying to do everything we can.
With plot armor.
That is, I think, only 1 to your shields. Shields at 95%, sir.
I see. Jueza, return fire. Attempt to knock out their engines.
And so the volley continues as we cut down to sickbay. With Jacoby, you're just sort of now feeling like you can get back on your feet a bit. Maybe even get back to duty soon. Turns out it was just a light concussion. Nothing that a quick hypospray can't fix. When
Well, first things first, I'm gonna be looking around myself because I do remember the last thing that happened. Doctor, where are you?
the doctor is actually not in the sick bay at this very moment. But the nurse comes over to you and says, "Oh, you're awake."
Nurse, tell me, am I fit for action? Yes or no?
I'm not sure yet. The doctor was looking over your condition. She'd be the one who'd be discharging you for active duty, but she got called.
Yes or no answer, nurse. Can I walk?
I don't see why not, but you might want to take it a little bit slow and wait for the doctor to get back. She was called
Get out
up.
of my way. I'll push her aside and make my way out of the medbay.
And as you do, the medbay door opens, and the doctor comes bursting through, and following behind her is Nurse Zerothrak, and another orderly who is carrying a figure who you have never seen before.
Captain, what are you doing out of bed? I haven't discharged you.
Doctor, there is no time. I'm overruling you on this one. I need to get back to the bridge.
Alright, so, there's a time-traveling Vulcan who's about to die. I need to take care of. We're being hunted by the mirror universe, Hadfield.
That's the last thing I remember as well. Where did this guy come from?
I don't know. He just appeared on the bridge. He's suffering some kind of decay. I think as a side effect of his time travel, and I'm struggling to treat it. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Okay, well, before I go, there's nothing wrong with the second opinion. Can I walk, Doctor?
You seem to be standing up right now. I think you should be okay. If you collapse,
That's good then.
if you collapse, that's on you.
I will take full responsibility for that. Doctor, best of luck and keep me informed about the Vulcan.
Godspeed, Captain.
And I'm gonna zoom past her and go to the turbulent.
And Captain leaves, and the nurse and the orderly put the mysterious Vulcan down on this bed over here, and immediately the medical staff bursts into action. As one of them plugs in your tricorder into the bed to download all the information you've gathered, and just everything, the sickbay thrums to life. So, what's your play, Doctor?
Was my play? Okay. You can't just pump him full of drugs forever. I want to do more research on his condition. I want to try and see, is it like aging? That's my thought. Is it like some kind of like a side effect of the chronoton radiation in his system? And see if by removing the chronotons, that might help fix it.
Okay. I think we are going to pop open the scientific method.
Okay.
So, what you're going to do is you're going to give me some hypotheses to what might be causing this. And then I'm going to have you make some rolls.
Okay.
There will be and basically I'll tell you if one of the hypotheses you have posited to me is the correct hypothesis. If not, I gain a threat and a little bit of time goes by.
Okay. My first, and I think it's the most likely answer, is that this is a side effect of his time travel transport. And it's somehow degrading his body because of the chronotons.
Okay. And everyone else, feel free to offer suggestions. Because you guys offering suggestions is representing the ship's entire medical department throwing out theories.
Okay, Doc, can you give me some background? Who the hell is this guy? How did he warp in out of character?
No, this is the time traveling Vulcan.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah, I knew that, but where the hell did he come from?
He appeared on the bridge.
We don't know. He just appeared on the bridge.
And instantly just collapsed?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It's definitely got something to do then with traveling from one mirror universe to another.
No, we don't know anything about it. Like, he's a time traveler, not traveling from... He might have traveled from another universe, but that's just a weird job.
Hey, him being a time traveler does not discount him also being a dimension traveler, so I think it's something it's worth looking into at least. That the wormhole that was near the planet that we were on, sorry I forgot its name right now, but the wormhole that was there, Tholia, right?
Oh yeah,
it could have had some it could have had some adverse effect on his physiognomical state.
That's a good one. Might have caused, like, when he transported, there was some sort of like fluctuation in the transport. The transport.
Yeah, like an excess of some particles got absorbed by his body, because I presume that he doesn't travel through dimensional gates like a normal person would. You know, you take a ship in there.
And GM did describe the transport as seeming off and not complete. So, alright, that sounds like a good first guess. That somehow the act of transport messed up somehow and it has damaged him.
And I've actually got another theory about this. He actually got transported, like you saw a transport effect. Like,
yes.
Yeah, okay. How about some of his transporter signature was lost in the process, like lost in the buffer?
Maybe.
Just a theory, but that could be pretty deadly, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've thrown out several ideas, GM. What am I making the call?
I gain 1 threat and some time goes by.
Well, crap.
I thought I had to make a roll.
Basically, you throw out a bunch of hypotheses. I tell you whether or not any of them are correct.
If it's correct, then we can move forward and do roll stuff.
Okay.
But if we threw out a bunch of wrong answers, which apparently we did,
it's to keep you from banging your head against the wall on a bunch of wrong answers.
Indeed, I think that is. What I'm wondering is, if I recall correctly, if you go back in time too many times, shit starts to get fucky for you. I'm recalling 7 of 9 popping back in time 1 too many times, and her entire cell structure starting to go to shit.
That's right. Time travel itself is a problem.
So if this is our arsehole Time Vulcan, then he's probably just arseholed himself into 1 too many time zones.
Yeah, or maybe he was injured somehow. Like, we don't know what this guy's motivations are or what he was doing. Maybe he was trying to stop this. He was fighting the mirror universe people and they injured him, and then he tried to escape, but like they shot him with some kind of sci-fi ray gun thing that then gave him this disease.
Oh yeah. For all we know, for all we know, he might have been discovered. He might be escaping simply from their ship. Might have been trying to sabotage some of the ships. And I'm trying to remember, what does an agony boot do to a person?
It's I'll let you know this. Agony boots, they do like neural damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
okay.
Varder got himself plonked in an agony collar a couple weeks ago. That sucked.
Okay.
All right. Here's a question. Does his quantum signature match that of the ISS Hadfield and the wormhole, or does it match that of our unit?
For a momentum, I'll tell you.
All right.
Okay.
It does not match that of the ISS Hadfield and the mirror signatures. This person is from your universe.
Well, that at least crosses that idea off the list.
potentially injured where he's coming from. Okay, it's supposed to be some sort of no, sorry, gotta metagame. I don't want to metagame too much. I like the idea of he was injured beforehand.
Multi-transport. I don't know. He did some dangerous medical procedure. This is some kind of crazy side effect. I do like the idea that this is some kind of side effect of mirror universe torture technique and he escapes. That seems like the most logical thing. Because if he's a time traveler guy, he probably has some kind of base. And the only reason why he would go here is if he was bleeding and he had nowhere else to go.
So potentially injured by attack or fleeing, potentially injured due to side effects, due to some sort of torture or such.
Here's another question. Does he seem to have, outside of this condition, any other underlying health problem?
If you want, you can spend another momentum, and I'll tell you that.
I do have studious. I should get to
Oh,
questions.
yes, I will. Yeah, I'll absolutely let you have that then. He does not appear to have any underlying health conditions.
Okay.
In fact, there are elements of his Vulcan biology that appear to be even more, or at least you can reckon they would probably be even more healthy than the average Vulcan, were he not suffering from a terrible case of dying right now.
Okay.
God.
Alright, so we have one momentum and 2 questions left. Does anyone have any ideas for good ideas to spend those questions on to help narrow down answers?
We should look here. Is there any sign of any sort of externally imposed injury that might signify the sorts of either torture device or weapons you're thinking of?
I won't even make you spend for that. The answer is no.
Not even on his clothes or anything?
So there's no sign of any sort of physical injury to this gentleman whatsoever.
Nope.
Are there any clues on his clothing, like that correspond to anything?
If you want to do
anything like that?
if you want to do that, I will take a brief detour from this scientific method, and I want you to give me an insight security difficulty 2 check.
You know, Sally, she's great at security.
This can succeed at cost, though.
Alright.
Here, since I was there on the bridge, can I try that one? Because I'm not bad at it.
No, this is signifying Maselli physically searching his person.
The patient.
Alright, take a threat for 3 dice.
Nice. Hey! Got it.
Oh, nice.
You find a strange device on, attached to his hip, and plugged into said device looks I mean, the shape and size of it is correct, but the appearance of it is totally wrong. It looks like an isolinear chip.
Well, can we plug a pad into that? Can we read this isolinear chip?
Yes, you can. You plug it in, and immediately all kinds of crazy markings start flashing across the screen. If you want to make any sense of it, you can make a roll.
Okay, with a focus in xenoanthropology comes to play.
At increased complication.
Alrighty. What's the roll?
This'll be I'm gonna say reason science difficulty 4 assisted by the ship's computer science.
Okay. Okay. Alright, I'll spend our 1 momentum, and I'll give you 2 threat, and I'll roll 4 dice. And I will shift.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's bad. Oh no.
Doc, check your comp. Sorry, what was the comp range on that?
I up.
Increased.
Yeah, I upped.
Okay, never mind. I see.
I upped
Okay.
it by 1 to give her a focus.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay. That's 3. I will spend my determination and use the value. There's always a new thing to discover. To
Ooh.
reroll.
2.
Yeah, those 2.
Hey, there you go. You
There you
gain a momentum.
Nice.
It's very, it's very compressed and very, and you even get the feeling that it might not even all be there. But it looks like this is some kind of a temporal database?
Okay.
Some kind of program.
I will plug this into the wall-mounted computer and have my communicator. Lieutenant Maselli to Lieutenant Udan, I've uncovered this very strange set of data. It seems to be some kind of temporal data pad. I can't quite make heads or tails of it, but I think it might, if we can understand it more, it might help explain our visitors' situation. Would you mind doing further research into it?
At once, Doctor, I do believe you are correct. This is indeed something worth looking into.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
And we will cut up to the bridge as Rugan walks over to the turbo lift, but just as he reaches said turbo lift, Captain Jacoby walks out. Captain on the bridge?
On the bridge.
Hey,
Round
Captain.
of luck. You are lead.
Very well. Should
Please
you be
return to the
here,
engineering
sir?
station. I need your help with something. Status report. Brief me.
Currently, we are engaged with our counterpart, sir. We've been attempting to flee toward Federation space, but given how much we've been, pushing our ship to the max, as some say, just to get to Tholia, and now have to run again, I do not recommend it.
What's the status of our ship?
We have received some damage to our shields, but we are physically fine. But again, sir, we're, in a sense, running dry, attempting to flee.
Understood.
The status of the other ship, though...
Yes?
The status of the other ship, though, we did knock out their weapons, but then they've restored quite a bit and are attempting to... I don't know if it's disable us or destroy us.
I see. Lieutenant Rugan, where are you going?
As it stands, sir, we have a time-traveling Vulcan visitor, and as it stands, the doctor is currently attempting to treat him. She has informed me that there has been a discovery of a device on his person containing some data sets which may prove to be integral to figuring out where he's from, what he's doing here, and perhaps how to save him.
All right, I understand. You are dismissed. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
Commander, take up the engineering station for now. I want all auxiliary power driven into our warp engines. Try and get us some more speed.
Very well, sir.
Lieutenant Zone, how are we looking? You managing her?
We're doing good.
That's good. Chief Jueza, what's the status of our weapons?
All weapons are nominal, sir.
Good. And no significant damage reported except for the one console?
Shields at last reporter at 95%, sir.
Excellent. Carry on. Okay, let's outrun this. Computer. Coffee. Black.
Okay. So what is the plan on the bridge now? Because Maselli effectively did two things, you guys get two actions. To update you, Captain, on how I have this working is, any action you make other than trying to outrun them, will require an opposed roll against the Hadfield. The other,
ISS,
against
the other
against the ISS. If you fail, however, they get to try and attack you.
Understood. Okay, Chief Jueza, have we tried throwing any decoys their way?
If you count photon torpedoes.
I'm not counting photon torpedoes as decoys, no. Can we try and get something like a smokescreen behind ourselves, try and blur their vision a bit?
Perhaps if we vented some of the warp plasma, sir, but...
Could it be possible to send out some form of sensor ghosts and directly mess with their own sensor readings?
I mean, Chief Jueza, are we on their view screen, effectively?
No.
So.
No, you're not. You're not on view screen. You're only acting on sensors right now, because you're all at, like, extreme range.
That may not be a bad idea, Lieutenant Regan. Chief, can you form up some bogey signal?
Where there's a will, there's a way, sir.
Good, get on that. Lieutenant Zone, and be ready to hoof it.
In addition, Captain, one important piece of information. Our scans did reveal that this is, in fact, a almost perfect replica of our ship, with the slight difference of a modified deflector array, which I wonder might have something to do with that wormhole.
Quite possibly, but while you're standing around there, your Vulcan is going to die. Run, man, run!
Okay, so, in that case, Jueza, give me a... you're trying to set up some sensor ghosts?
Yeah, we could probably send like a probe that's maybe going out.
Okay,
like a smoke screen.
give me a controls science assisted by the ship's weapons science.
Oh, this is gonna go well.
Opposed.
Can I assist him?
You're on your way back down to engineering, ain't you?
Oh, no, I'm just at the council.
Oh.
I'm still
At the console.
Oh, okay.
Console.
Yes.
Alright. Cool.
Then yes, I set you up at that. You're at the auxiliary console. You pull up the engineering. You pull up primary engineering consoles that you would normally interface with down in main engineering.
If I'm not mistaken, we actually have 2 momentum because Doc rerolled the 2 fails.
Oh, and by the by, I get 2 more threat because you're here now, Captain.
Coolio.
Forgot about that.
Awesome.
But yeah, we're on 2 momentum, so Jueza, feel free to burn.
I was gonna say she also spent some stuff to get it, so...
Alright, okay, then we're only at 1 momentum, but feel free to burn that.
Yeah, you can burn the momentum, but yeah.
What's the difficulty on this?
It's opposed.
Opposed.
Alright,
can I use a determination with value freedom fighter from my experiences with...
Sure, yeah, that works.
That's a great one. Very fitting, yeah.
Alright, so I will use that, and I will use the 1 momentum and 1 threat for the extra die.
Mm-hmm.
And here goes nothing.
Okay.
Oh.
Oof. I am going to spend 3 threat, first off, to activate the determination of the lovely lady behind the Hadfield's, the ISS Hadfield sensor array.
Oh, crap. Miss Ellie's gonna kill us.
And I'm going to also roll my one challenge die.
You get it back?
To which the value, no lies hide from my eyes.
Oh my god. Doc, are you still like the metal shaved head thing behind the console? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, which is my perversion of her honesty is the best policy.
That's cute. What great dramatic irony that we're all going to die because by the healer's hands, like fucking Shakespeare couldn't write that one.
It's great.
Yes. I'm spending 2 more threat also to give her a 3rd die. No special complication range. It's gonna be insight.
Jesus, I rolled a nat 20.
And then their ship also rolls its... Oh, hey, and because it's rolling sensors, they also had a lower difficulty. Not so fun being on the receiving end of it now, is it?
I mean, there is no lower difficulty when it's opposed, my dude.
Yeah, there is. It
effectively
makes it so that they're operating at an advantage.
Yep, but we've received that. It makes sense that they also have that. So.
Right.
Oh, but Joeza, you did get back your determination. If it's any consolation to you, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes versus your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Jesus Christ, Mirror Universe, Maselli's gonna kick our ass.
And a complication.
Yeah.
It's gonna make the next opposed task more difficult.
Oh, God.
Coming which is to say, Joeza, it looks like their sensor operator has seen right through the ghosts, and in fact, were able to zero in on the weapon signature that you used. You wasted a little bit of time doing this. You wasted a little bit of ship speed trying to set up these ghosts, so you figured they'd also have to slow down to figure you out, but they didn't, so they have a bit of an edge if you're going to try and outmaneuver them now. Tizonin, opposed. Daring Khan, assisted by the ship's engines Khan.
Give him
Give him the threat for the third dice. Start. Give him 1 momentum and 2 threat for 2 dice. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be harder.
Right.
1 momentum, 2 threat.
Okay, I am only going to spend 1 of it.
Oh boy. Here's the roll.
Oh,
shit.
But you're also at I just gotta remember that you are at complication, so you have to score 1 success higher than him. You have to score a little bit higher than him. I mean.
roll that engine.
Okay.
And I get to reroll 1 of those dice. It doesn't help. And how does their ship do for Engines Con?
And Mirror Universe really sucks.
Okay. Huh?
No, sorry. Mirror Universe Tizonin sucks.
Yeah, he's damn it, man.
Woo.
God damn it.
Cool.
Captain Freewill is not going to be happy. So that's how many? That's 4 successes versus your 7. You gain 2 momentum because you were operating at a complication.
Cool.
So, yeah, because essentially the way these contested rolls go is technically the rolls are difficulty 0. but with the complication, it was difficulty 1.
Okay.
Interesting.
And it's a comparison of how much momentum you generate.
Still, we're doing pretty good.
So, fortunately, Tizonan's fancy flying is able to outmaneuver his other self. Those robotic eyes of his may be on the dot, but some things you just cannot replicate with cybernetics.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta use the old Mark 1 eyeball, that's good. Back to the doctor or back to us?
You guys get one more thing before we cut back down to the doctor.
Okay, can we make a running action now?
You're gonna try to straight up outpace them.
Yeah.
Okay, and this one is gonna cost a power.
Oh, actually, scratch that. Can I use a rally action to try and generate the dog's momentum?
Oh, sure. It just means that Tizonin, as said, is gonna have to. Tizonin is just gonna have to make his he's gonna have to make the opposed check again.
No problem. You're gonna take 1 threat for the time being, so I can get a 3rd dice.
Nice, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, we generated 4 momentum. Get in there. We're currently maxed out, so Tizonin, you can give him 1 momentum, 2 threat again, I'd say, or 3 threat straight up if you want, so you can succeed this roll. Pick one.
Let's momentum and threat.
Alright, so Block, what 5 momentum, please.
Okay, I gain 2 more threat.
2 more threat. Yep.
Okay, I am going to spend. I'm going to spend the 2 and 1 more to activate Mirror Tizonin's determination.
Crap.
Which, humorously enough, I'm not even going to change the name of it, because do unto others as you would have others do unto you.
Oh gosh.
Outspeed them?
But
We also
I'm not.
did shoot at them.
I am not, however, going to spend for any extra dice.
Okay.
No, actually, I am going to spend 2 more threat and get a 3rd. But that's it. Because I want that reroll. Thank you.
Okay. I guess. So I'm rolling 4 dice and you roll 3?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Reroll one of those?
Yep.
Ooh!
And here's mine. Oh, no.
Oh.
Ships.
Okay.
And
Engines con. Oh, cool.
Oh.
you still beat me.
Yeah.
Did we? 2, 4, 5 against your 3, 5. We're tied, actually, yeah.
No. I rolled 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5. Because you used the determination as well.
Oh, 6 then. That's 6.
Yeah, we're tied.
Oh, we are tied. You want to spend 2 momentum, you can win.
Oh, yeah, I generated lots anyway, since the doctor has lots to play around with, so go ahead.
Okay. As you are able to quickly outpace them, they're going to have to do a bunch of work to catch up to you now.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, all on you now, Doc.
Alright, we are now going to go on... we are now going to go on down to sickbay again. As Rugan, you enter and you see the mystery Vulcan from earlier.
Indeed. Well, Doctor, what do we have to work with?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What have we got to work with?
I will hand him the isolated chip.
It is a oddly colored thing. It's got these sort of whereas many isolinear chips sort of have the geometric lines inside of them, these are slightly more curved. within, and it's purple.
Interesting. Well, let's see what the fuck we can find out about it.
Okay. Give me a control engineering with a difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's computers engineering, to crack into this thing.
Alright, can I have an extra day?
You may have. Yeah. Determine how much that's spent.
I trust my focus in reverse engineering applies.
Didn't you have a computer's focus?
I do have a computer focus.
That works.
Alright. And there was one other thing I was going to ask, it just slipped out of my head.
I think I know what you're going to ask. No, testing a theory under practice does not come into play.
That wasn't it, but thank you. Is computer going to assist? That was it.
Yeah, I said computers engineering.
Perfect. No, I mean, is the computer going to assist? Oh, computers engineering for that, I see.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
And the ship?
Sorry, coming up with computers engineering, right?
Mhm.
Coming up, sorry. Then,
You
Should
want...
I re-roll for another momentum chance?
Yes.
Yeah, because you got that. You can... Hey!
There we are.
2...
3, 4, 5 successes total.
Yeah, 5 successes. Gain 2 momentum. As you're able to access this isolinear chip in a bit further detail. You see, again, it's sort of the... Maselli was able to get a look at some of the broad strokes of this file. You're now able to decompress some of it and get a look at the nitty-gritty.
This is the power of math, people.
Now, I need you to give me insight science difficulty of 4. Assisted by the ship's computer science.
can the doc lend a hand?
If she wants, although that's going to take her away from working the patient problem.
Yeah, I should work on it. My own computer is the best chance for that, if anything. And I have... Now that we are over max momentum, may I have enough to bring me up to 4?
Oh, if you're more than max momentum, if you were at like 8, if you had somehow pulled yourself to like 8 momentum,
Like we just did, yes.
you're gonna need to spend that 2 float before it goes away.
That's what I figured.
And I mean, you could spend it to make the data easier to read, like you've parsed it out or something.
Yeah, I'm just, I figured questions are good for now.
Alright, so I'll stick with my 3 dice, and I will use my... Alright. So here we go, let's see how that goes.
So,
Same as before.
not going to see about any... I was going to say, not going to see about any questions.
I
don't know what to ask about it.
Oh, I thought you guys were just going to use the 2 to lower the difficulty by 1.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
because it was going to be insight science difficulty 4 to crack to understand the data involved.
Okay. Speaking of which, could somebody roll the computer?
Yeah, coming up, sorry.
Comp science.
Yep.
Nice.
Here we are.
Bring it up.
And one more, because I'm re-rolling my 0.
Nope.
Nope, not that time.
That's okay.
Still a success.
You're able to read through this. It would appear that this is a compilation of, interestingly enough, it's the best way I can describe this to you is it's not so much a compilation of temporal science, as in, like, it's not like how to do time travel or anything like that. No, this is more like a roadmap.
Indeed. I wonder if I'm about to be disappeared from opening this.
It's a roadmap of potential timelines.
Interesting.
in addition, there are a few spots that are coming off of some key nodes on this. Just trying to think of a couple of them. You see one that appears at a point about 100 years in the past from where you are. It's a man with fair skin, fair hair, and appears to be wearing sort of one of those old school, like, motion picture era uniforms. And it says point of contact. And then further on down the line is another set of circles with similar portraits in them. One is of an Andorian with one of them is an Andorian with a the antennas and everything, wearing a security yellow jumpsuit. Another one is a Denobulan woman wearing a Sciences blue with Lieutenant Commander Pips. And the third one, I'm spending 2 threat, is a face you recognize all too well. Valak.
What the hell?
And written above each of the 3 portraits are points of contact.
So that being said, this would seem as though this fellow had to go back and talk to several specific people in order to get the timeline that he was aiming for. So it looks like these are the ones he was aiming for over the past, and Vlok being the most recent.
Could I see who these people are?
Miseli, you look over at the screen. You recognize one of them you recognize Valak, obviously. The other one you recognize because she visited your sickbay once, Dr. Efrix.
That's interesting. That's the chief medical officer of the USS Kismet. As far as that was, she's involved in some crazy Dominion War conspiracy. I can only imagine what a time traveler would be interested in manipulating the timeline for their own benefit.
Indeed, it would look like there's somebody who's attempting to make things go just so.
The question is he on our side or is he not on our side?
My guess is that he would be on our side. Because if he isn't, it won't matter anymore.
I guess you're right. Does anyone else have... does this have any clues as to his condition?
Unfortunately not. And with that, actually, we will come back to your point, Miseli. Let's see if you guys can reason out your hypotheses.
Okay, I have an idea, but it's a very much long shot, right? He was in contact with all those people, and maybe, just maybe, Dr. Efrix was on Beta Z as well, because we came there and then we left and then someone else picked up the pieces. Maybe the residuals of the Beta Z disease are on this man. Or whatever, happened there. Because Vulcans are also like empaths of a sort. Like, mind meld is an empathic ability, so, it's a bit of a long shot, but,
Yeah, that tracks. Plus, he looks Vulcan, but we don't. We don't know.
One with a bowl cut.
all Vulcans wear bowl
You don't even have to spend a memento.
Oh, okay.
That's stuff you would have you would have had to work that out before even administering the first dose.
Yeah, that's on his patient chart.
Also, like, did you do any internal scans, or is internal organs completely fine? It could be like having heart failure or something.
No, his internal organs are all like crumbling apart. That's why he's dying.
Yeah, literally it's as I told to Maselli, it is as though his like every cell in his body is just dying.
Alright, I will take a blood sample and further analyze his blood, to see if there are any clues in there.
Okay, interesting. All right. Give me an insight medicine check, difficulty of 2. Assisted by the ship's computer's medicine.
Yay!
And if you want, you can even use your advanced sickbay advantage here.
Nope. What I'm going to do is I'm going to activate which one looks better for this?
I'm just gonna roll the ship. Nope.
Maybe let's see. I will activate Nurse Rackington.
Okay. That is 1 momentum gained.
I will reroll that complication.
2 momentum gained.
Alright.
As
I'll use for questions.
Yep, you put a little cylinder of his green Vulcan blood in a blood analyzer, and after about 2 or 3 minutes, the results come back, and there's one result that jumps out at you immediately. And the reason it jumps out at you, and it's one of those, you wouldn't have realized it in a living body, but now that this blood sample has been isolated from the host body with a pumping heart and lungs and working liver replacing the blood, in the 5 minutes it took you to take this blood sample and do the test, the amount of blood in the vial has gone down.
So it's something to do with the blood?
Decreasing? Like he's fading away? Like he's being erased or something?
Is he being...
Or potentially,
okay, so
like, there's a transporter.
Erased and not shrunk.
Yeah, like he's... The So maybe like a transporter misalignment or something of the sort is what caused this.
Do I recognize, with my blood momentum, my first question is, do I recognize this, from my medical knowledge?
Here's the interesting way I'll put it. You do not recognize this from your medical knowledge, as it is as though just blood cells just vanished. Like that.
That's not the law of the conservation of matter. Is that matter can never be created or destroyed. It can only change states. Matter can't be erased. I don't.
Okay, here's a long shot.
But the interesting thing is, and I'll give you this for free. The amount of blood that is missing is replaced by a completely proportional amount of air.
Okay. So he's literally turning into air?
Here's a very long shot, right? What if he's still like actively trying to transport himself? Like he's disappearing because he's still so he's still buffering. What if that's the case?
My thought is like it is like someone went back in time and killed his grandfather, and now he's being erased from history.
Oh, he's suffering from the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of shit. If that's the case, then there's nothing really to help him.
Technically, it's actually the grandfather paradox, but
Then we'd have to go back.
Quick, Belloc, go bag his grandma.
We'd have to go back to the past, Samurai Jack.
Well, it's a possible theory.
Oh, is the plot twist going to be that he's Belloq's son, and that, as it turns out, like Belloq has to like take the place of his father?
Oh no.
So Belloq does have to go and bone his grandma.
Oh no.
Oh god, what else could it be? Alright, so he's somehow like vanishing. And I have to assume that this process in which blood turns into air is something I've never heard of before.
Yeah, I told you that. You'd never heard of something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, that seems like a very logical reasoning that someone actually like killed his grandfather and he's ceasing to exist. Because honestly, like diseases don't just delete your blood. Like matter, you can't just stop existing, like you said.
This has to
Yeah.
be some kind of temporal.
Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't have noticed it otherwise, because it was one of those things of like his liver, which is where his heart is supposed to be, if I'm remembering correctly. The liver is constantly trying to resupply his blood with new blood cells as the old ones were disappearing.
Well, knowing this fact, can we treat him? And perhaps bring him to consciousness? Like, can we get him new blood cells?
Yeah, well, I think we could fabricate like red blood cells, could we not? Vulcan compatible at the very least.
Yes, you could. It would only solve one of the problems, though.
His body is still decaying, but that would put a stop on the decay for at least a little bit.
Well, if we got him conscious, we can ask him questions.
Well, yes, yes, you can absolutely work on that. It's not just his blood.
I know.
It's literally every cell in his body.
Okay, I'd like to do a more in-depth brain scan. See what's happening up there.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Give me Insight Science difficulty 2. Sorry, not Insight Science. Insight Medicine.
Alright.
My bad.
Alright, momentum, 3 dice.
Hey. And the ship's computers medicine.
Coming up. Sorry, the window. I just keep blowing the window. I should stop doing that.
Erratic. It is erratic neural activity. Neurons fire and then stop firing in random sequence, as though coherent thoughts are trying to be formed, but they're just not connecting.
I think there's that moment in Enterprise where Daniel's it's like a whiplash of time travel. He's like part of his body is like aging to an old man, and like part of him's turning into a baby, and he like very rapidly dies because of it. Maybe it's like that. I don't know.
So do you have your theories then?
We've made
Okay,
dozens
so,
of
yeah.
guesses. I thought you were just waiting until we made the right answer.
Oh no. Remember, it's
No, we have to say so many.
yeah. You gotta give me some. You have to tell me what your hypotheses are, and I will tell you if one of them is correct. Like you
Yeah,
gotta.
I thought that's what we were doing.
It's
I
you,
thought
you,
we were just waiting until you tell us what's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
We can just recap them now.
Yeah, just gotta give them to me in like a batch of 3 or 5.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
one of
the
the
trick is,
theories
he's
is.
gonna
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so my best guess is that someone went back in time and messed with his previous timeline, preventing him from existing, and now he's being erased. Alternatively, somehow his time travel transport was severely damaged, and like as a consequence of a damaged transport through time, he's decayed. If it's not that, maybe it's the disease from Davis head.
Or perhaps, like we said, he could still be trying to actively like transport himself, unbeknownst that he's like actually tethered to this timeline for the time being.
Yeah, or that, or he's in some kind of like temporal buffer. Or, all right, what do we want to do?
What if there's half of them on each Hadfield?
So hang on. So I'll tell you right now, one of those is the correct answer.
Great.
Okay.
So now we gotta guess which one is the correct answer, and then we get what roll.
Yeah, so you're going to choose which option you want to pursue. Then you will roll me a number. You will make multiple dice rolls. However, I am not going to. There's essentially a difficulty. I'm not going to tell you what it is until you accumulate enough successes through cumulative dice rolls to hit the success. Basically, I'll just say, keep going, keep going, keep going.
And the trick is, we don't know which one is correct. So if we choose a wrong one, he's just gonna say, keep going forever. So
After about 5 successes, like if we get more than 5 successes, you can just call it a day there, and we can choose another theory. But I think the grandfather effect one is the most likable one, really.
yeah.
The grandfather, I will spend one.
So this is going to be insight science. Or reason science, actually. Assisted by the ship's computers science. I will allow the ship to assist. And if you want, given the nature of the situation, I will also allow the ship's medbay to help out, and it will lower the difficulty of the correct answer by 1.
It is 4 momentum to roll 5 dice.
6 momentum.
Alright, well, I'm going to spend all 6 to roll 5 dice.
Does Ragon want to assist?
He certainly does.
Yeah, reason science is your thing, bro.
Oh, it certainly is. Yep, sorry, just took a moment to feed the cats, but that means reason science. There's assisting, so just one day. Let's see how this goes.
Shoot your moon duck.
Don't think any focuses, so I'm just going to go for it.
You're okay. I think you're absolutely fine. Yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6 successes.
6 successes. Gain of momentum. You picked the correct choice.
Woohoo!
Yeah. With your now that you're thinking of this in a more scientific, like in a temporal mechanics sort of way, with you're thinking that this is less of a medical problem and more of a physics problem. You're working through it and you realize, yeah, this is what's going on. He's being erased from history. Slowly. But he's being erased. Something is allowing him to hold on. Possibly his nature as a time traveler has insulated him from the effects, but it's not holding.
It's his personal history. Seriously, we're going to do some Doctor Who here.
But he's being erased from history.
Okay, I don't know.
I will announce my findings to the bridge. I don't know what to do to treat this, considering we can't bring him to consciousness.
We can delay it and attempt to figure out more.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rugan, if you want, you could give me, as someone who might know a bit more about temporal sciences and quantum mechanics and everything, you're welcome to give me a reason science roll with a difficulty.
I would like to do that.
Difficulty of 4, and you're testing a theory. Theory into practice helps.
Alright, so I'm going to use my quantum mechanics focus on that.
Yep.
Alright, and I know we don't have enough momentum for me to take another thing, however, I've already got my 3 dice. Let's see how that goes. Am I assisted by the ship's computer at all?
Well, you just get a free die. You don't have to spend momentum for it.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's what he
exactly.
was saying. But
Well,
is
that's
the
my
ship helping?
Yeah, I'll say the ship's computer science can help as you're running the numbers on the computer. Like between the information you've got off the isolinear chip, what you know now, yeah, and was that okay?
Here, roll the computer. Because that was an old computer roll.
Sorry, coming. Computer science.
Yep.
That was 6.
That's 6 hits out of a difficulty of 4, I think I said.
Indeed.
So 2 momentum gained. As you reason, there are devices that, there are some devices recently developed, by Starfleet, because, again, temporal mechanics is a field that has been getting more and more advanced over the past 10 years, especially with some of the, what's the word? Misadventures with time travel, encountered by the USS Enterprise D. And also with the return of the USS Voyager, they also dealt with a lot of time travel bullshit.
Heck, we've dealt with time travel bullshit.
Yeah, and with what you've got as well, that's also true. Yeah, you could possibly stabilize him. He probably wouldn't be able to get up and move around, and honestly, his time might even still be numbered, but you might be able to keep him from dying in the next 2 hours. You'll have to build a chamber for him.
Like a stasis chamber?
Yeah.
A temporal stasis chamber.
Sounds like fun. Can you manage it?
I can totally assist with that.
Yeah, but okay, fine. You can leave the bridge if you want to go help build the temporal chamber, but man.
That was out of character. That was out of character. Maybe you
Yeah,
should let me know what the hell's going on.
Yes.
Doc, any updates?
Well, Rugan's the one who.
Yeah, I was waiting for Rugan.
Yeah, Rugan.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
gone.
you reason that theoretically you could build a quantum entanglement stasis chamber to try to stabilize his existence in reality.
Luckily for you, I have a theoretical degree in physics.
Excellent. You will be some New Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds like a job for a
Okay.
You also could assist Maselli. They'd probably have to reconfigure one of your stasis chambers.
Cool.
Alright, then
So-
I will assist.
So much just random science, time travel, engineering, and medicine all going into making some weird chamber.
Yes. So I assume, where are you going to want to work on this?
Would it be best to use existing sickbay resources and perhaps rework the quarantine chamber we have?
Works for me.
Before we do that, however, I need Tizonin to make me an opposed roll.
Okay, Tizonin, buddy. He
Yep.
has no threat, so you can give him some.
Oh, take that threat for
So you can
third
give him like
dice.
one moment. Oh, okay, just one. Okay, that should
Well,
do it.
Okay?
That should do it, actually, yeah.
Which I will spend back.
Oh, snap.
That's alright.
Let's see what he
I
did.
have faith that the mirror universe Tizonin sucks.
Thanks.
Whereas, yeah, he does
snap.
suck. He does
wait.
suck.
Oh, is it tied?
No.
You beat him by one, but let's see what their ship gets.
You are a leaf on the wind. Watch out.
Ah,
Darn it, their ship is better than ours.
Darn it.
no,
They're gonna get an attack.
no.
Let's see if their tactical officer can hit.
Oh, Jacoby, don't do it. Yes, Jacoby.
Hang on. That might still be a hit. That is a hit, but there is a complication on the board. You gain an additional 2 resistance to the damage rolled on this torpedo.
Cool.
Good enough.
As it hits one of the more heavily, as it hits one of the stronger portions of your shield array.
We can feel the ship rock a bit.
No damage.
No damage.
Awesome.
Okay. Chief Joey's status?
We're hanging in there, sir.
That's good. Keep it going, Mr. Tizonin. We'll outrun them yet.
Good another roll?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not quite.
Yeah, that was just to see if you're still keeping ahead of them. Okay. So, Volok, you make your way down to sickbay, where everyone is prepared a stasis chamber. That surgical bed is not there. Instead, they've replaced it with a stasis chamber.
Gotcha.
And now, y'all get to work. This is going to be, guess what? An extended task!
Okay.
All right, between Balok and I think we've got this.
Sully can also help.
Yeah, we're gonna destroy this thing.
Yep. Ahem. This is going to be a control engineering difficulty of 4. The work track is going to be 20. The magnitude will be 4. Magnitude 4. And a resistance of 4. So, here, I'll quickly type it out. Hadfield. Control Eng. Diff 4. Mag 4. Res 4. And one mag 4, diff 4, mag 4 was 4. Work track of 20. I think that's it. It can be assisted by reason, medicine, and reason science. As Maselli and Rugan will give you further insights into how best to construct this sort of a device, taking into account both the temporal mechanics problem and the medical problem.
Okay. Alrighty. So if I'm going to lead again, I'm going to assume temporal mechanics works.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yep, and I'm also going to spend our momentum for more dice.
I mean, you don't have to.
Neat. Can you reroll?
Nope. Rugan?
Indeed. Let's see.
Assisted by computers, engineering?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Reason science for you, Rugan.
Yep, I figured as such. Sorry, wait, just a moment, and that's one die for an assist. Here we are. Bah.
Block, would you like to spend a determination, perhaps?
Yes, I would.
Onto the next
reroll.
onto the next miracle, I assume?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Roll me your 7 challenge dice. Let's see how much you demolish this. It's actually not that much, because you didn't get any, effects.
Still got, 7?
You can spend the momentum to reroll
So,
the 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and we did get 1 momentum back, so yeah, we're going to ignore some of the resistance.
Okay, that's how you're gonna do it? You're not gonna reroll?
And you have the thing where if you get a breakthrough, you get to roll again.
That's why
Wait,
I get 2 breakthroughs for breakthroughs.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to get the breakthrough. I'm trying to figure out, should I reroll the 3 and gamble, or should I just get rid of resistance?
Yeah, if you get rid of 2 resistance, you will get a breakthrough.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna to just spend the momentum to get rid of resistance, so we get 2 breakthroughs basically.
Yeah. So then, now it is only Control Engineering difficulty 2, and again, Maselli and Rugan can assist.
Indeed. So let's see how that goes.
Go ahead and take a threat.
Okay. Hold on to that. Hey! The 2 successes you needed.
There we are.
3 momentum. That ignores 2 of the resistance, I think. Does it resist 1 or 2 resistance?
Okay, so that's actually 9 total. Oh,
right, it's the... I'm sorry, it's...
Yeah, the scrutiny, so it's 9. I get 2 for the effects rolled. So 9 total.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Intense scrutiny gives you 2 resistance bypass for each one of those effects.
Yep.
Ow. Okay, yeah, that finished the task. GG.
There you go.
However...
This is the power of math, people.
However, this is also going to require one last thing. A control science difficulty of 4 assisted by control medicine. Assisted by the ship's... I'll say the ship's structure science. No, I don't think the ship can assist with this one. Because this is what's letting you do it at all. So
this is still it's control science now for the extended task.
This isn't an extended task. This is just a.
So it's just another piece of it. So perhaps God should.
Yeah, it's a gated. Yeah, basically doing this was a gated task. That is, the initial science task to determine you could do it. This engineering extended task to build it, and one final science task to turn it on.
Okay. What difficulty?
Difficulty is 4. I will say that Rugon's testing a theory into practice comes in, so he gets 3 dice, and it's difficulty 3.
Okay. Can I assist?
Yes, with control medicine.
And can I also assist with science?
Control engineering, actually. You're operating this device.
Oh, cool, even better.
The ship doesn't assist. Ignore that one.
Oh, I thought you said yes.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
5.
That's 5 successes to the difficulty 3, so gain 2 momentum. As, again, you don't really see it because, as it was, he had only, actually, as you were adjusting the thing, your suspicions were confirmed as, certain parts of his extremities started to become translucent. You could actually see through his skin a little bit.
Oh, we're going back to the future.
This is the Marty McFly effect.
No, it's not the... You couldn't just see through his hand straight. It was like... You could see, like, the veins and everything. Yeah, it was like a super... the super kind of weird, creepy effect that I'm sure the special effects team had a fucking field day with.
Alrighty.
But eventually the color seems to come back to his hands.
How are you feeling?
Did I make it?
It's 2370s. The U.S. Hadfield. You're being chased the ISS Hadfield. Does that answer your question?
Then I have made it. And he looks up a little bit. Valak.
Why are you here?
I am here because the invasion has begun.
From another universe.
Indeed. I am quite weak. They began their invasion in full force, and even as we speak, the future I come from is being rewritten.
Our future?
Indeed.
Yes.
I believe you are currently in Tholian space, heading at mark 2357. Correct?
Correct.
Then there may be a chance. I do not like to gamble on such uncertainties, but if I have learned anything from one of my associates is that sometimes a calculated risk is better than none at all.
Well,
You will
suppose we need to continue on then.
you will find all you need on the data chip. Put in the access code. Operation Looking Glass.
Tarragon, perhaps we need to go through that data chip then.
Indeed. We've deciphered some of it already, but I'm unsure as to what we need just yet.
I was trying to translate what I knew into a data packet that your ships would be able to comprehend. I wasn't able to finish it, though, before the invasion got underway. You did good to defragment as much as you could. It is acceptable. But
yes, attempt to add in his access code, see if we can get any more information from it.
Okay, you enter the access code, and I'm not even going to make a roll for this because you were able to save him, and he just told you the code. Otherwise, you would have had to do a whole other set of things to crack this.
Hey.
Like if he hadn't survived.
If he had exploded into several green pieces for some reason.
Yeah. So yes, it pulls up a timeline of events. You're able to get a much better appreciation for, well, let's just put it this way. Here's how history was supposed to go. There was going to be a conflict with the Tholian Empire and the Federation. There was always going to be one. It was going to get kickstarted by a minor disagreement over a research station. The Hadfield was going to be there for it. And there was going to be a minor conflict, but at the end of the day, the Hadfield was set to broker a peace between the two sides. However, in the middle of that conflict was a brief interference by a group known as the Terran Rebellion.
Crap.
And that is how history was supposed to go. But something's changed. The Terran Rebellion isn't the Terran Rebellion anymore.
Now it's the Terran Empire.
Yeah. And if you want, you can look in a little bit deeper to see if you can work out what happened.
Let's try that.
Do let's.
This is going to be an insight science difficulty of 3. Assisted by the ship's computer science, your testing a theory into practice works here, Rugon, so it's difficulty 2, computer's focus works.
Alright, let's see that again.
Can anyone assist?
Nope, going at it alone.
So far 3, so that's great.
That's already a success, if I'm not mistaken, he said.
Yeah, so I guess just a moment.
I paid attention in science school. I'm sorry, I've recently seen several things of Discovery. I will not stop making fun of that god-awful show.
Hang on. I'm just quickly...
There's some good things.
Yum, yum. Wait, no, that was Picard. Never mind. The other terrible new Star Trek show.
Guys, can you please?
It's okay. I'm
GM.
I'm typing out a thing to Rugon. It's okay. I'm the one holding things up.
Interesting. The point where the path to the fall of the Terran Empire was solidified has vanished, all with the presence of a single man who mysteriously disappears halfway into his regular timeline.
If you want, you can spend a momentum, and I will tell you the name.
I gonna do a free question?
Oh yes, science officer.
There you go.
This is his name.
Spock.
Yep.
Spock.
He no longer.
We appear to be down one Vulcan.
Yep.
To clarify, not regular Spock.
Yeah, Mir Spock.
Oh, okay.
Out of character Mir Spock became the Empire after, they did the old-fashioned Mir crossover thing. And then it went downhill from there.
Because he made the Empire soft. He disappeared.
Just disappeared.
Yeah. He went to, it would appear he went to oversee some kind of, excavation project. The historical records are scant, because, again, these are records from the mirror universe that somehow this guy here in your, this agent was able to acquire this information. He went to some location to oversee some sort of excavation, and then he vanished. Was never heard from again. And shortly after, the regime that he built crumbled, and the old school Terran Empire rose again.
Cool.
So, are you suggesting that we go back in time?
We have to go to another universe and go back into...
Do we have to double back and go through the wormhole and then go back into...
There is on the, I forget, Rugon, do you have the thing that lets you ask another question? You have, Studious, right?
I'm afraid. Nope, that is the Doctor and Studious, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, the doc does. You're thinking our sensors.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you have the sensors. Right.
How about we give you a momentum for
Yes.
that?
I will tell you the name of the planet that he vanished from. He was overseeing some kind of an excavation on this planet, in a system of the same name. With the... Hang on, I gotta ask something.
The Tenium system.
Does that ring a bell to any of us?
You're very quiet. Didn't catch that.
I said, does that ring a bell to any of us? I don't recognize that name off the top of my head.
Teneum system.
Teneum.
Sounds like typing.
Not to anyone in the Hadfield.
Oh, okay. Teneum system. Is the Teneum system possibly on our way?
You can have someone make a Reason Con assisted by the ship's computers con, difficulty of 2.
Reason con.
Yeah.
Should I throw a threat your way?
Sure.
Yeah, you can grab momentum for this one. This should be an easy one.
Alright, 3 dice, here we go.
Did he not just roll?
Oh.
Oh,
Hang on.
I can re-roll that one. So
No, because you didn't spend
You
threat.
can't, actually. But we succeeded anyway. We can just squash that right away.
It was computers con. Do you want to roll that one more time? Because you got the
What was the roll? Hang on.
computers con.
What's our computer score? 10. We would not have made it. We were 1 shy.
So you want to roll it again?
No.
New? Okay. You'll just quash it?
Well, I was gonna say maybe because of his talent, roll it again and see if we can gain momentum.
He doesn't have... He doesn't... Oh, yes. The...
Nothing.
New.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the Teneum system is actually currently located within Tholian space. You note down the stardates to down from the bridge to Urugan. And it sort of occurs to you, based on the timelines of everything involved, the Teneum system actually wasn't in Tholian space when this event occurred. Currently, it was contested at the time.
I was going to say, did someone move it?
No, it's the system hasn't moved. It's just the borders.
Yeah, the borders moved, and so it's now in
Yes.
Tholian space, but used to be, I'm assuming, Federation space.
Neither.
Neither space.
Yeah, like based on Federation history, neither.
So perhaps we go there and
Did the borders
create
move
our...
around this?
Yeah. In fact, if you would like, you can give me an Insight Command difficulty of 3 check assisted by the ship's computers command to find out a little something more.
Sorry, which check?
Insight Command.
Insight command, I can do that.
And your computer's focus comes into play.
Cool.
Now, would this count for my theory into practice?
I'm gonna say no. You do still have a momentum, though.
Indeed. And the computer roll?
It doesn't matter. You didn't get any successes. Oh, wait, but you
Yeah,
do get a
I'll
reroll.
reroll something.
Right. Well, you're gonna have to reroll one of your own dice, either way.
Yep, I am.
Nope.
Oh no.
Here's what I'll tell you, Rugon. You get, an error message back. Well, not an error message, but, classified.
404, system not found.
Classified, actually. Requires command authorization from captain or higher.
I shall page the captain at the bridge. Captain, we've run into some classified information. We might need your assistance.
Forward it to me on the bridge. I'll unlock it for you.
Very good.
Okay, computer. Unlock archive. Code Jacoby Alpha Delta 035.
Okay, give me a control command assisted by the ship's computer's command.
Okay, you will take a threat.
It's still difficulty 3. I
Will
am.
my focus? Will any of my focus?
Let me look at your.
Target awareness.
I don't think so. No.
I can roll one of those.
And the ship?
Okay. What did you say?
Computer's command again.
Determination?
I don't think you can determination the ship's computers.
But to succeed, maybe?
Oh, you could spend a determination, to re-roll that 1-0.
I'm using my value insatiable curiosity.
Oh, that works.
Okay, I'm rolling 2 dice.
1.
Oh, 1, yeah. Come on, baby.
Yes!
Good enough.
I will take that complication as 2 threat. And you said you gave me 1?
Yeah, he gave you 1. Yeah, he gave me 1.
Okay, yeah, you pull up the information regarding the disappearance of a Federation starship. Actually, 2 Federation starships in that system.
Okay, well, I'm gonna forward this information down to the crew in the med bay and return my focus to, outrunning these guys high on our tail.
Okay, I just gotta get one more bit of info. Then I can continue. Because it's a bit from someone else that I have to confirm.
Yeah, I'm trying to... there's so many games, it's hard to remember which one.
I don't need the specific start date for the first one. It's okay. So, the first thing you note is that, during the 2250s, a starship went missing in that system. The USS Juno, a Constitution class. And it wasn't heard from for a long time. However, word eventually got through that a vessel had encountered a subspace distress call similar to that would have been used by the Juno. And it was looked into by another Starfleet vessel, which vanished on stardate 8418.8. That ship's name, USS Argo.
I know this guy.
The Argo vanished, good, 80-something years ago, and they have not been heard from since.
Yeah. Okay. Well, potentially we need to go to that system since it's on the way, and that was important. And you were saying, Doc?
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't really know what or should do.
For one further momentum, I will give you an additional tidbit of information that will connect a couple puzzle pieces for you.
Cool.
Stardate 8418.8 happens to coincide with the historical record surrounding the disappearance of Spock.
Son of a bitch, they mirrored. Argo did mere shenanigans and did this. Okay. Are we gonna have to do some time travel, guys?
I guess we have to. And then go back in time.
Yeah, so perhaps get to that system around that star date and prevent stuff.
It's not exactly like going down to the corner store.
Will you be informing me of this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like we will let you know and we can all brainstorm, but yeah, it's looking like potentially we have to go to our nice system now.
We can cut to a briefing, but
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
how
right.
we
Yeah, let's do briefings.
So we cut up to the briefing room. The only one who I'd say probably is not there is probably Tizonin,
Yeah, probably.
because he is currently. Oh nope,
Flying this ship, yo.
he was not there. That's left over from that episode where I had Q mess around with giving you the choices.
Yeah, fun times.
I remember that one. That was good. Jueza. Would Jueza be back on the bridge? Because
Actually, yeah, it seems a bit crucial for someone to like maintain shields and fire back as
yeah.
well.
Okay, so Locke, and the dock.
Okay, so run it by me one more time, guys. We're going over to a system which supposedly has a place that can take us into another universe. And in that universe, we will find what we're looking for.
Potentially, sir. All we know is that the dates of the supposed disappearance of this Argo coincides with the information we gathered from the mirror universe's history
I see.
as the disappearance of their Spock.
Okay.
We don't know exactly what happened.
Then, theoretically speaking, once we arrive, how do we open up a portal? Or do you figure it's just a one-way wormhole?
Well, first things first, Captain. We need to get back in time. Then see what event caused whatever to happen. If there was already a wormhole potentially there, established by the Argo.
Right, but how do we do this? How do we get ourselves back in time?
Well, we have used a slingshot maneuver before. We could again.
I see. Will this potentially cause significant damage to the ship? I'll take the silence as a yes, Commander.
It is a dangerous maneuver. I mean, it's not done often for a number of reasons.
Yeah, that's something like. It's like, well, we could do it.
Well, if this is our only option, just have.
I tend to agree with the doctor here. Speaking of doctor, how's the patient doing?
Well, he's fine being, but I have no idea.
Do you think he'll survive our little trek in the past?
Yeah.
You don't know, although it's. I guess you could say, given that you know what his condition is, as long as you can stop as long as you stop the Terran Empire, his future should be assured.
I think he should be okay. Let's continue to have him.
Okay, so our time frame is quite limited to say the least, am I correct?
Yes, we have hours.
Hours. Oh man. Okay, well, I think we best get underway. The three of you head back to the drawing board and think up a way of, well, the slingshot maneuver is the obvious choice, and we'll realistically see what we can do when we get there, but brainstorm a bit just in case if there's another shot of doing this. Helm, estimated time of arrival to the desired system or computer?
To helm, that'll be Reason Con, difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's computer's con.
Okay, Tizonin, you can give him a threat now.
I'll spend 2 threat to increase the comp range by 1.
Boy. Threat.
It's Reason Con.
Alright. 3 dice as usual.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Owie, zowie.
I want to reroll that.
You can reroll that one, yeah.
Okay, that's better.
And the ship,
Yeah, they're coming up. You said you raised the comp by 1, right?
Yep.
Alright.
okay, 2 momentum.
Nice. Good job, Tizonin, you're a fucking machine.
yeah.
No, that's the other dude.
Yeah, okay, you're a part machine.
Yeah. You figure, hitting max speed, you'll get there in a day.
Do we have a day?
Depends on how good you are at outrunning the guys.
Oh, man. Okay, back to your stations then for the time being. Volok, I'm gonna need a lot more juice in the systems. I do not care where you get it from, just get me some more juice.
Very well, sir.
Shut down all the holodecks and all the non-essential ship stuff.
Close down the 3-ring circus.
Exactly.
Yep.
Batten down the hatches. All ashore that's going ashore.
So, yes, the way I'm gonna do this is going to be, I am going to do this as a best out of 3. We are going to do a couple more of those, opposed tasks, to Zonin.
Oh boy, what you need me to do?
Hang on. 4. I'm gonna say, for each 2 power you spend, I will let you lower the difficulty by 1.
Okay, what's the initial difficulty, GM?
It's opposed.
Okay. How much power?
You also have to remember. I was gonna say you also have to remember that I'm assuming we're gonna need power to do our time travel shit.
How much are we on? Are we at max? Or did we spend some?
I think we only spent 1, maybe? I'm trying to look at my notes here. Oh no, that was firing for threat. No, I think we're good actually.
We're at max power? I'd say we just burn 6 power, like, straight up. That should reduce the difficulty by 3, and we'll have enough to, like, play, at least.
I agree.
Okay.
How much power are you spending?
That's, 6
I'm trying to
power.
figure it out. So it's we're gonna do 3 rolls, right?
Yeah.
So no, don't like
Oh,
spend
don't burn
some
it all
power
at once.
for 1
Okay.
rolls. But yeah, like we're doing several rolls here.
Okay, no eggs in one basket. So, 6 power overall, but divided over 3 rolls, yeah?
Sounds good.
So,
Let's
2 power per roll.
Let's go and
Alright, should I be taking threat for each roll?
We could do 3 power per roll
You can-
and just
you
hope
can-
we win those 2.
You can give him some threat, yeah?
Because I think it's the
okay.
two.
Let's
you
do
you
this.
can give him 1 threat and use these 2 momentum and roll 4, actually.
Ooh, I like that. Let's do that.
Okay, I'm gonna throw that threat right back.
And then Reason Con forever and ever.
No. Daring.
Ooh, daring.
Your daring is better.
Well, it's actually the same. Here we go. Oh my.
That's good, that's good.
Corn key.
Ship coming up. Reroll the ship. Dang it.
Gosh dang it, man.
That's a tie. Oh, wait, but you spent 2 power.
Yeah.
So
yes, we did.
you get a momentum.
Blessed shot.
Okay, that's 1 for you. Now you're going to spend 2 more power, and
Perhaps this time do 1 momentum, 2 threat?
Yeah, that sounds
Two
like
threat.
a good one.
okay.
1 moment to 2 threat for the same amount of dice.
Okay.
Gonna
Let's do
spend
this.
that 2 threat, 1 threat for.
Ooh. Wait, that's the same exact roll.
Hot
You
dog.
can re-roll that 0.
Oh, let's reroll that 0. See what we get. Oh, hey, that's a better roll.
Blessed.
Then I have to roll 4 dice. Gah.
Man, Mirror Universe, the zone sucks.
Yeah. Dude.
Yep. Just put all the machines in them. Just keep them strapped to the seat. But man, take that ass out and he sucks.
He's still running Vista.
2 momentum gained.
Alright.
As you arrive in the system.
Ooh. Another roll?
No,
We're good.
because you beat 2 out of 3.
Oh, okay.
We're good. We're good.
Yep.
Bring us back to the bridge, GM.
All right, you have arrived in system.
Awesome. So now we need to, if we beat them, attempt this now.
Okay. Gonna take any look at the
slingshots.
take any look at the system at all?
We can, but it's ooh. Yeah, let's quickly
Actually,
load up
we'll
on
take
momentum.
down. Yeah, fire up the sensors. Let's see if we can detect any temporal anomalies lying hidden here.
Okay.
Focus scan on tachyon particles.
Reason science, difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's sensors science, so that brings it down to difficulty 2.
You can do it, Ragan. Load up momentum guns.
Indeed. That's reason science, you said?
Yep.
All right, let's see how it goes.
Oh man. But we need to beat them because it's kind of hard to do this slingshot. But man, they're shooting at us.
It was reason science, but it's okay because that was
a wrong roll, but it's also much better.
Reroll the sensors because Rugan's got his thing.
That's actually a focus, I think. No, it's not focus.
We're all winning.
Are you winning, son?
Yes.
So that is 1 momentum. As you are picking up anomalous readings from an M-class planet within the system.
That's actually, I think that's actually 1 higher. Because I accidentally rolled my insight command, and I think that's a 2 on the second time.
No? Because that's a...
No, if that's the case, I'm reading wrong.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, a 2 is a crit already. You need to be like within 1, 2, or 3 if you have a focus.
Yeah, your science is 5, I think, but you didn't roll a 5 or
Yes.
lower.
No, I rolled it. Says, okay, there we are. I see the thing. Sorry, I'm looking at the thing. I see 12, 12, 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
so
yeah, I know it's hard to
look
read
at
it.
that. Look at that. I see 12, 20, 22, 2, 12, 2, 2, 0,
Yeah,
12,
it's the one in
12,
it's the one in the brackets at the bottom left.
brackets at the bottom left, zone 11. Perfect. I see it.
Yes.
Thank you.
11, 19, 13. Yeah, so... yes, as mentioned, mysterious mysterious anomalous readings from an M-class planet within the system.
Captain, I believe we have something. Is it the planet itself the one we're looking for? GM, is it that M-class planet?
Yeah, I mean, it's
figured, yeah.
Teneum.
Yeah, I figured. Captain, I believe that we have discovered Teneum. There are abnormal gravimetric readings coming from the planet.
Well, excellent. Commander, I think this is the one we have the slingshot to, am I correct?
Possibly, sir.
Well, there is no other M-class planet here which matches these readings.
What exactly are these anomalous readings?
These strange gravimetric readings.
Hang on. If you're asking that question, I have some info for you.
We do get a free question, so...
Yeah. Although, actually, I just got a I know I have this info. It keeps jumping. Like, every time I try to move up to read something, it, like, jumps up to, like, January. I'm trying to look back, like, 5 days ago. I don't want to look at the messages I sent to this person in January. You're picking up signs of metaphasic radiation.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's time travel stuff, right?
Metaphasic radiation has a lot of effects.
Yeah, it can... I'm trying to remember, is that the stuff that can be quite deadly?
No, I believe that's the regenerative metaphasic.
Okay, yeah.
It's the card looks younger. Radiation.
Oh, okay.
AKA, I don't remember all the little details of it that he told me. Jaweza, what's the deal with this planet?
Yeah, Joey, so what's the deal with this planet, bro?
You playing the Argo?
Yeah, Joey, you playing the Argo?
Trying to remember.
It doesn't matter really, but I'm assuming this is our planet.
I can't remember right now, but I'll keep thinking.
Okay, Commander, you have the bridge. Commence the slingshot.
What's it?
Very well.
Okay.
Oh no.
Then... so to go back to this date... nope, not that. That's not what I wanted. I have to open a new window really quick. Because I have to grab the rules for the slingshot maneuver.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head. I don't.
Yeah, I found a really nifty... I found a really nifty rule set for doing them.
I love how we've hit the point of being able to just butt fuck time on a regular basis, that will.
Continuing.
Kinda hot, not gonna lie.
No. You stop that.
So yeah, we're gonna go back in time, just to see if this is somehow this planet, whatever happened, is also connected to another universe which had its own time travel shenanigans. Oh my god! Like.
Yep. Loading continuing mission, and then I need to search for. Where's the search button? There's the search button. Here we go. Here we go. I should really save this as a separate document. So you need to go back. I think it's this one. Yeah, you're traveling back over 100 years because you're going to the TMP era. Okay. I am going to need Zonin to make me a Reason Con task, difficulty 3, assisted by Computers Con.
Okay, we got.
Alright, 3 dice? Or do we actually have momentum?
Let's see how much we got. We got 3 momentum, yeah. You can give him a threat and 2 momentum. That should do it for 4 dice.
Awesome. And let's go. Ooh.
Dude, nice.
Okay.
The ship.
Sorry, what is the ship roll?
Computers Con.
Depending on what ship rolls.
Okay, you gain 3 momentum. This has a
I
power...
was going to say, technically we could re-roll those. Do we want to gamble a little?
I tried. No,
good.
We're good.
Um,
Yeah, we're good.
Should you decide to, you can spend to create advantages to either increase the or to decrease the amount of power it takes, or decrease the difficulty, as you find a more efficient slingshot path.
Yeah, doing what we're doing is going to take a lot of power, and should we just go with power because we can't roll for power? Should we just try and roll really well?
I think we can reduce the power a little bit. I mean, we're fine on the power situation for now, but we don't know what we're facing over there.
The slingshot maneuver takes power.
Right.
Because we're going back far enough, we need to make sure we don't use
Yeah.
all of our power.
Yeah, there's a nifty little table here that determines how much power it will take based on how far you're going.
I think it's best to use the creative advantage.
And I will be fair and say we're in a new scene, so
We lose a momentum. Okay. Okay. I mean, and
so
our
at the
power
moment
regenerates.
we got 3. No, I was gonna say we have but I'm trying to remember. I don't know how much power it's gonna take for this.
If an educated guess would be definitely above 5. I'd say 6, maybe. Healthy guess, you know.
So yeah, the question is, do we want to create advantage for rolling
sure.
or power? So yeah.
Let's do it.
For which one?
For the first one.
For rolling, then.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's create advantage for we've discovered an appropriate angle of flight.
Mm-hmm. So you're decreasing the power?
No,
we're decreasing the difficulty of the roll.
Okay.
Difficulty.
Okay. Then in that case, give me a Control Con difficulty 2 task, assisted by the ship's engines con.
Okay. You can take, for Tazun, you can take momentum and 2 threat. That should give him another 4 dice.
This is as
He's
you...
rolling beastly today.
And this also has a power requirement of 2.
Okay. I'm gonna reroll that 0. Hey.
You gonna reroll that? Okay.
Okay.
Come on, man.
2 momentum.
Should the doctor be in charge of the ship? Because she was doing way better.
You're the second in command. You know when Picard gave the command of the bridge to Riker so he could dock the Enterprise? That's what I'm doing, bro.
No, I mean, the ship rolls. The doc was just knocking them out the park with 2.
As Tazonin is building fast speed toward the source, I now need him to make me a Control Con task with a difficulty of 3, assisted by the ship's engines plus con.
You can take another 1 momentum and 2 threat for the final 4 dice.
And this will
Reroll
that is just enough. As the Hadfield pulls into warp, surrounding this star, I now need you to burn 5 power.
Whoa. Okay, we are down to 2 power.
But we did succeed, so... Alright, I'm assuming the system might look a little different.
As you are buffeting in and out, making your way back towards the proper date, I am going to need you to make one more control con difficulty of 3.
You can straight up give him 3 threat for this one because we have no more momentum. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay.
I was gonna spend 2 of that threat you just gave me to increase the complication range by 1. So that second 0 is a complication.
You can re-roll that though.
So I do.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's about right. And that's how much momentum generated? 3?
Yeah.
Okay. You can spend up to 3 momentum to remove a d20 from roll. If 3 momentum are spent, the ship arrives at the precise date. So, would you like to spend that 3 momentum to arrive at the precise date?
Yes.
Yes.
I am going to spend 2 threat to create a final complication. As pouring out of the as Tizonin rocks the Hadfield back out of warp, suddenly a gravitational eddy slaps you, and you go tumbling. And sitting there in the darkness before you is the planet. Something's wrong. You're not in the system anymore. But the planet is sitting right there in front of you as you come lurching out of the time stream. In fact, there are no stars here. Just you and the planet. And of course, a number of ship readings on your sensors. But what those a number of ship readings on your sensors.
Perhaps we can detect those, see what they are.
Jueza?
Yes?
Give me an insight security difficulty of 3.
As you wish.
Assisted by sensors, security sub difficulty 2.
Okay. Not gonna have... I don't think any of my values would count for this. Well, yeah. Alright, I'll give you a threat for the extra die. And here we go.
You can do it. No. You got your determination back. Do you have anything to work here?
Well, I don't think any of them will work other than
Darn it.
brimming with confidence.
Roll the ship's sensors security, by the by.
I'm coming.
Could roll a crit.
Could, never know. Look, my luck's shit today. Maybe I should let the doctor roll that
I was gonna say, maybe let the doctor roll it.
Doc, you wanna roll this one because you seem to have been doing well today.
Do it for the roll.
I'm sorry, disable Okurugan.
No,
Maselli.
It's not the doctor rolling the ship.
I heard it all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can do it.
Yeah, roll the ship because you seem to be having better luck than I have.
Sensor security.
Yeah, sensor security with the ship. Because, yeah, I don't know what it is, but you had way great luck.
Of course, if this was D&D, she'd be screaming.
I know.
But we all kind of would, so...
I mean, it's an accurate summary of my
Accurate. That's only one momentum, unfortunately. Although, oh, wait. I just realized. Technically speaking, the high resolution sensors do generate a bonus momentum.
Isn't it that you have to use it for a question? Isn't that the wording of it?
Is it? I think it just says it generates a bonus momentum.
For the purpose of asking a question.
I mean, I think that in most situations that is all it effectively can be used for.
You're the GM. You're ruling here.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah. Give me a sec. I only want to make sure because this is the last roll of the game.
How about just succeed at cost?
Well, you Oh no, you didn't.
Didn't we succeed because it's difficulty 2 because
Yeah.
of our sensors?
Yeah, I'm just trying to determine whether or not you have enough extra momentum left over to boil that off.
Yeah, that's the question. It's like we basically succeeded at cost, but if we can use that momentum to squash the complications you as a rolled, we just
it just says one bonus momentum. Under
then we'll quash it, no problem.
Yeah.
As you are hang on. You are picking up a number of ships, many of which are obscured by the gravimetric readings and strange quantum fluctuations in the region. But you are picking up a separate signal within this strange anomalous space. You are picking up the hull reading of an Excelsior class.
Excelsior class.
Interesting.
The Argo?
NCC 2001 USS Argo.
I thought so.
And with that will be the end of tonight's episode. Sorry you guys didn't really get to deal with your mirror universe counterparts.
No, we're the ones that chose to just run like